name is Dr. Susan Lawson. I'm here with my daughter, Julia Grimes, and my son, Jack Grimes, and my husband and my mother. And we are opposed to HB. Probably me.
And my name is John Kelly. I'm Susan's husband.
All right. We did have you on the list as having children that we need to go quickly.
I'm sure you've heard her.
So we are handing out your materials, and we wait just a minute until we get those handed out. In case you're wondering what we're doing, we're collecting money to get ourselves some pizza. And I'm sorry that we don't have enough money, I guess, to provide it for everyone, but we have another bill here after this bill, so we will be here for quite a while. All right. Wait just one more minute till our staff person gets back here. All right, who would like to go first? Ms. Lawson, Dr. Lawson?
Yes, let's go ahead. First of all, I just want to say good afternoon and thank you for allowing us to speak. My daughter, Julia, who is here in the audience, and we're probably heard her meltdown, was born a healthy child in December of 2005. In December of 2006, at just 1 year of age, she was severely brain injured from her routine measles, mumps, rubella, varicella vaccine. 7 years later, she still suffers from severe developmental delays, behavioral issues, and daily uncontrollable seizures. Julia will never live independently. She will have to rely on others for support throughout her entire life. Julia's vaccine injury case was filed in accordance with the National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act. Her case with the National Vaccine Injury Compensation Program was conceded in 2011, and I have provided you with copies of her case. We are thankful for the financial support to help with her many special needs, but this will never make up for what she and we as a family have lost. The Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court, has admitted that vaccines are unavoidably unsafe. That being said, HB 1288 is not about whether vaccines are safe or unsafe. HB 1228 is about choice and parental rights. Parents have a 14th Amendment due process constitutional right to parent their children, which includes making medical decisions. HB 1288 unconstitutionally presumes that parents are unfit to make exemption decisions for their children. I am not an uneducated woman. I am not exercising my personal belief exemption for my son, Jack, Julia's unaffected brother, out of convenience. When something that is this devastating happens to one of your children, you do research. With my medical training and medical practice experience, I am able to decipher science from propaganda. I am able to make informed vaccine decisions for my children going forward. I do not need what I assume will be a one-sided educational presentation on the so-called benefits of vaccines. I live my life with the aftermath of vaccine injury. There were no benefits for my daughter. There will be none for my son. I have many friends who are also doctors. They are also mothers. They have met Julia, and they know her story inside and out. many of these mothers are also exercising their right to personal leave exemptions. These are not uneducated mothers using the exemption out of convenience. These are mothers who love their children and are doing what they feel is in their children's very best interest. Vaccination has the ability to permanently disable or even kill some children. Vaccine injury affects not only the individual injured, but the entire family, medically, socially, and economically. Parents need to be able to decide if these risks are risks they are willing to take or to not take. They need to be able to exercise their rights to exemption without the added pressures and time commitment of an educational class designed to sway their decisions toward vaccination.
Dr. Lawson, your time is up.
Thank you.
Quickly, if you have another statement.
No.
Mr. Kelly?
Thank you. And actually, I'll take a little less time, so maybe about 6 or so. I just kind of wanted to piggyback a little bit onto what Susan said. And I just wanted to ask the members of the panel, how many were familiar with what the VICP is before this legislation came before you? I would wager that very few of you did. I'd like to know if you know anybody personally that has a vaccinated child or had to deal with one in your family. And I'd like to know, I provided this information in your handout, if you know how many vaccines children received before the age of 6. It's 49. 49 doses before the age of 6. And I would also ask anybody who mentions this new trend with healthy eating and farm to table and all these other things. They seem pretty willing to put this into their child's body, but they don't want pesticides on their apples. I also wanted to mention about the increase, the 5-fold increase in the vaccine market from 2003 to 2013, from $5.7 billion to $27 billion. So I think we can see the benefits of those from the current vaccine protocol. And I would resent the implication that we are uneducated and negligent for our choice to either not vaccinate or to ask for an alternative schedule from our doctors. We have been labeled crackpots, conspiracy theorists, child abusers, and worse in many different forms. I wanted to mention one other story about, about the bears. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what the bears is, the adverse reporting system, which is of course voluntary, even by doctors. There's been over 18,000 adverse reactions to Gardasil, yet some states are trying to make it mandatory for children as young as 9 years old. And I just read a story today out of British Columbia where a school vaccinated a 14-year-old child without the parents' authorization. My concern here is the slippery slope, and where does it stop? If we start allowing more and more questioning of the parents' judgment and their decisions with their doctors. I think the key is the information and how much of the information is really given as to whether it's the risks and benefits. And if this bill doesn't pass, I would pray and beg of you to make sure that the adverse reactions are given equal weight to the supposed benefits of these vaccines. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. And members of the audience, we don't allow expressions of support or opposition by clapping or laughing or that sort of thing. So in the future, just note it to yourselves, please. Thank you. Are there questions for Dr. Lawson or Mr. Kelly? Representative Singer.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for your really deeply personal testimony. I think that's why we have these hearings, is to allow people to voice the real effects of the decisions that we may potentially make. My question is, in relation to the concern about having a balanced module, people are concerned about this online module. And I've gone online and looked at it, and I know Representative McCollum mentioned he's gone online and looked at what they've done in Oregon. I'm just wondering whether you've looked at Oregon's module and whether you think that it's adequate with, if you've seen it, or whether or not there are some things that you would maybe see differently.
I have not seen it.
And Dr. Lawson, would you?
It was sent to me late last night, I did not have a chance to see it. I talked to someone about it today, who did not agree with how it was written.
Thanks.
Any further questions for these witnesses? Motion to approve adjourn.